We encounter a lot of information from various sources such as media and our interactions with our friends, with our family, or all the members of our community. Good day, learners. Please take note on the objectives of this lesson. Read. I am Veronica Yodong, your teacher. Most of the information we receive is helpful, but some may mislead us or may even be utterly false. News on the internet or other social media sites often relies on sensational headlines which twist and distort the truth. In some cases, innocent individuals become targets of harassment.
Money doesn't really exist, it's a theory. If you look at how the world's been acquired, it's been done by a banking scam.
Because of false claims and testimonials that are issued online. These kinds of information often have negative impact in our lives. What is truth and why is it important?
How do we know what's true? Ever since human beings have been capable of thought, we have asked big questions about how the world around us works. Some people have thought that there is another reality beyond the one we can perceive through our normal senses, a supernatural world, where there might be ghosts and goblins, gods and demons. They have thought that knowledge can come from this source, from supernatural revelations, prophetic visions, or divinely inspired books. Others have thought that the way to learn is by observing the world around us carefully and in detail, forming ideas about why things behave as they do, testing those ideas through experiments, refining them in the light of experience, then testing them again. Out of all the various methods that people have tried to use to find out how the world works, observation, experimentation, and the testing of theories against evidence has the best track record. Prophets have predicted the end of the world on many occasions, but we are still here. Ancient holy books contain a description of the universe which has turned out to be totally inaccurate. If asked to choose between taking a medicine prescribed by a doctor whose methods are based on experiment and one who has selected medicine for you based on his visions, you will probably not choose the medicine from the vision.
But throughout history, philosophers grapple with the concept of truth, because truth lies in the heart of inquiry.
To gain any knowledge about how the world around us works. Through science, we have cured deadly diseases, created amazing technologies, and learned things about the universe that fill us with wonder. When we want to know what's true and what is false, there is no better method.
How can philosophy guide us in distinguishing truth and opinion? Is it true or not? That is a big question. What should we consider when looking at arguments or opinions?
Straw man fallacy. Contrary to what many people would have us believe, a straw man is not simply an argument that you dislike or find inconvenient. Rather, it is a version of an argument that is misrepresented, simplified, so that it is easier to knock over. A straw man replaces or represents whatever actual argument is being made. I don't think it's too much to ask that when a media creator wants to show heinous or awful stuff, they do so in a context that shows that that stuff is heinous and awful. Oh, so now we're not allowed to show violent or terrible things unless we include some long-winded sermon about how bad things are bad? I think creators should be able to show or do whatever they want. The original argument states a preference for what Mike thinks constitutes the responsible use of media. The straw man argument recasts this as something much simpler and easier to agree with. Freedom is good, censorship is bad. But now Mike and Straw Mike are no longer arguing about the same point, and so the conversation will quickly become unfocused and aggressive, which is never fun. If you're gonna win an argument, you want to win against what the other side actually thinks, don't you? A straw man argument keeps that from happening.
The appeal to people fallacy is a variation of the appeal to authority. It consists in arguing that some statement P is true because most people believe P. In other words, an appeal to people fallacy arises when one who, instead of concentrating on the relevant facts of the argument, gives more emphasis on the emotions and opinions of the people as basis of her conclusion. Here are some other examples of the fallacy of appeal to people. Tide Ultra is better than Surf because many Filipinos use it. Well, for centuries, people have believed in God, and I just don't see how so many people could be mistaken. So that's why I choose to believe. An appeal to force is a type of informal fallacy that arises when the arguer, instead of showing the evidence, appeals to intimidation or use force to gain acceptance of his or her argument. College dean to a teacher: you better think twice before giving that student a failing grade. Remember, he is the nephew of the university president. Father to a daughter: you should study nursing. Otherwise, I will not send you to college. The fact that the arguer intimidates or poses a threat to the listener does not make her conclusion true. An appeal to pity is a type of informal fallacy that arises when an appeal to evidence is replaced by an appeal to pity or mercy. The arguer does not have the evidence or proofs for his claim. Hence, he is forced to invoke pity to win the sympathy of the listener. The lawyer argues that his client should be acquitted because he is miserable and is a victim of an unfortunate life. However, even if it is true that indeed the accused is miserable and is a victim of an unfortunate life, it would be fallacious to conclude that the accused is not guilty or he should be acquitted simply because his life had been hard or because bringing in a verdict of guilty would add to his misery. For sure, the lawyer needs to provide strong proofs that would show that the accused has not committed the crime before he may conclude that his client is not guilty. Your Honor, the accused of this robbery case must not be put to jail because he is a father of 12 children and a husband of a woman who is suffering from cancer. Besides, he is the only breadwinner in the family.
These are just examples of fallacies. The others are already identified in your learning activity sheets. Please continue reading for you to understand. An understanding of opinions and facts and the means to distinguish one from the other can further improve our understanding and appreciation of varied views and ideas. The ability to determine truth goes hand in hand with a holistic perspective and enables us to make wiser decisions, especially in choosing the ideas and views which we find acceptable. However, the concept of truth remains a highly debated topic among philosophers. That's the reason why philosophers consider truth as a kind of quality or value. And that means that statements may have truth and may not have truth. Learners, in my opinion, you have clearly understood the discussion. Prove to me then by doing the activities correctly to make my claim true. Good luck. See you in the next session.